Okay guys, thanks for coming and watching this video. This is Chillie, obviously, and this is gonna be a really short one, but I hope that it gives you some inspiration as to how I am personally preparing for this economic hurricane that is about to descend on all of us globally, and it might last quite a few years. So I actually started to do a bit of shopping, and obviously because nobody has that much money, I am going on a longer term procurement process to get the things that I need and slowly buy things in order of necessity. And so I'm going to show you my shopping trolley really quickly, and what I would say is you have to think about investing and preparing for these things as if you're putting a trade for stock. If you think that the stock prices are going to go up, you will probably buy low and sell high. That's right. If prices for the same thing is going to be more expensive, like anything you buy is going to be more expensive tomorrow than today, then if you need things for tomorrow, you will probably get it today rather than tomorrow. And this is the basis of its appeal. Okay. Not that one, but that's not really a necessity, and it's not gonna last me for 3 years. But what I would really recommend is that you, like me, start preparing all the things that we need and stocking them up slowly, gradually over time. And especially if you have seen something that is still sort of last year or the year before's prices and it hasn't really gone up, but you need it, I would say get a couple. I would really recommend that every family start preparing for this. Things like toothpaste that you need, and for me this is actually twice the strength of Colgate at half the price. One, and I also got the cheapest grains or rice that I could find that I actually eat. I mean, obviously different people have different preferences, but this is $1.40 a kg. I remember when this used to be $1 a kg or $1.25. I remember those days. That's never coming back. And the Bible says that grains or wheat and oil will become so expensive that like a loaf of bread will be 13 times or 1,300% of what it is currently. That's how crazy hyperinflation can get. In the worst case scenario, I'm not saying that in this supposedly coming recession we are going to see that, but I prepare for these things anyway. Face toners, ladies, with all of our makeup and stuff like that, you might want to stock up on that if you want to use it during those days. Essential things like salt, because I imagine that if I was really starving, I could just cook congee and salt, and I'll eat that as a meal and I'll be fine. Bare minimum basic, which I really saw the Filipinos do during the lockdowns. So basically I really wanted to show that to you, but I have quite a few of them because I'm trying to stock up over a couple of years. And this really reminds me of Joseph's days, where he had 7 years of plenty to prepare for 7 years of famine and drought. And I just really want to say that maybe I will never use all 4 of these toothpaste, but I would rather be on the side where I have it rather than the side that I don't have it in case something bad happens. Especially on rice and other staples that are essential to survival. That's the first thing I would do. I would definitely slowly over time, so there's no need to shock the system, but over time, maybe in the next year or so, prepare for yourself maybe about 3 years worth of supply for your whole family. Just have a look at how much you guys are eating at the moment of or consuming of everything, and do the right preparations necessary for your family. Maybe one thing that I didn't buy yesterday was baby formula. Maybe you have nappies or baby formulas that you need to get. I obviously don't need that, but I like to use milk powder for like milk tea and stuff, so definitely do that. And even things like plastic bags, because you know, how else am I gonna get rid of the trash? You might think about doing these things, especially if you have a stable place to live in and you can afford to save up a little bit. Stop eating out. I would say definitely from now on, bring your own food, pack your own lunch, and cut down on the outside spending. Spend money on this instead. This is $1.40. You can save up $1.40 when you don't eat out, and you can feed yourself for so many meals. So why wouldn't you do that? Why would you not do that? If you have a land and a house and stuff like that, you would also look up. There's so many gardening channels on YouTube that you should probably have a look at and see what people are recommending as top crops to plant in your country and your area for survival. Things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, a lot of these things, and maybe a couple of greens and stuff like that for the vitamins and stuff like that. You probably want to look into those, and if you have the yard to do it, I would start learning how to plant and not wait till the last minute. If you're doing gardening, I would also highly recommend getting the fertilizer and the pesticides if you need those things. For example, if you're having tomato dust, these kinds of stuff, and stocking up on that, because we know that prices for these things are only just gonna increase. And also, I think that we should not be relying only on these. As you know, as I was showing you in the previous episode, these things are worth nothing. This is useless. This is probably costed them altogether 50 cents to make, and you're calling it 85, 50. Like, this is worth nothing when it comes to a time of depression. So I definitely would want to be in commodities. If you can afford gold, I would look up the closest gold bullion supplier that supplies 99.99% pure gold bullions, and get those in your local area. Those are like little coins made of gold or silver. In Australia, there is one that's called the Australian kangaroo. You can get the gold one, which will cost you the price of a gold for an ounce, or the silver. There's also a silver kangaroo, so you might want to look into those. And oil, I would say, if you're driving fuel when fuel prices are low, learn to stock up a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily that safe to put it at home, but you will need to prepare something. And if gas prices are down, then there's no reason for you to bring a few more of those mower cans to fill up a lot more fuel than you would usually, just in case something happens or you need it for a generator or something like that. A lot of things to prepare here. I hope that doesn't overwhelm you, but I hope that you can then now calmly sit down, look at the family, and look at what they need, what you need, and make the appropriate preparations. Elon Musk is, and so should you. Jamie Dimon is, and they're very smart people, a lot smarter than you and I. They are making those preparations now. We know we don't earn as much as they do, so we definitely need to start preparing earlier rather than later, and that would be the wise thing to do. Be the people who have prepared enough oil to wait for the bridegroom to return, rather than the people who did not prepare the oil and get caught unexpected in a lot of great trouble. Definitely get stocking up and prepare for the long time of economic slowdown that we're going to see and expect. Also, it's very highly likely that even though our economy is slowing down, that the prices for these things will keep getting higher and higher as people become jobless, homeless, whatever. So you want to think of those very bad situations, and especially if you have debt, once more, get out of debt. If you have a credit card debt, get out of it. If you need to work a second job, a third job to pay it off, if you need to become an Uber driver to pay it off, do it now while you still can. And do whatever you need. If you need to start a side hustle to pay it off, do it. And I really think that everyone should be working on multiple income streams. Like, for example, I'm a YouTuber, so once you get to a certain threshold, every video you make starts to make you a little bit of money. Not a lot, but at least you know that that's something that you can pay for. Maybe a packet of rice. And that would mean a lot, wouldn't it? $1.40. So anyway, that's the end of my sharing, and thank you for sticking with me through this. This is really from my heart. This is the best way I can prepare you and I, and also the wider of our Christian community of brothers and sisters, and also for non-Christians as well. You don't have to be a Christian to watch these videos, but I'm especially, thinking of them as I'm making this video. So I hope that this really helps you to know how to deal with this, because other people have gone through situations like this before, and this is how they survive. So I'm just telling you now, because most of us are too young to remember war and how people live during war times. And so I just want you to be aware. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.